Welcome back to my channel. I'm Amanda, and today I'm playing with Ginger's Corner and the Speedy Scrapbooking, and this is the sketch, and it's from Mallory to use because sketches make everything a little bit more speedy. And I'm also using my Counterfeit Kit Club, and I'm going to scrapbook one of these pictures of my oldest tickling my youngest. And so I picked out these 3 pieces of paper. That's a Hip Kit Club called Jingle Bells. And this is also Hip Kit Club, and I think it's called Unicorn Daydream, but I don't remember. If you want to know, I can look it up. And this is an American Craft, I think, paper that came out of a box set. So this is going to be my top corner of the sketch. I'm literally just going to go at it and start cutting. Not really any plan in here. So that'll be my top corner. I think the polka dots are going to be my upper one just because it's a little bit airier and has some white. And then this bottom piece is going to be the triangle piece. And I do want the triangles to be lined up with the bottom edge so that they're straight. I didn't want them all wonky. Same thing with the hearts. I wanted those lines to be straight, so that's why I cut it the way I did. And so I'm using my pencil. I'm cutting this line first. I marked where the bottom of that dotted page would be so that I have an idea where that is, just lining it up again. And I'm going to draw another line, cut this piece off, and then cut the bottom piece off. And my first thought was I was just going to adhere it to this dotted page, but I really like this dotted page, so I changed my mind on that one. So I'm going to slice this off with my trimmer because that makes it a little bit easier. And take the branding strip off of this one. And then it's going to go on like this. And this is where I decide, maybe I'll just get a piece of white cardstock. So I'll just use my pencil line and do a pencil here and do the pencil on the other one. And then I'm going to cut out that piece. And that sets up the base page. So all those scraps. Yay, I have scraps to use. I have quite a few scraps to use actually from this kit this month, but and I like that. I like the different scales of the patterns. I like that blue and the pink are in both of the different ones. And so it's super cute. I have my white cardstock. I'm going to get this glued down right away. And let's tape. And then the last one. And I do have some pencil marks showing, but I'm just going to use my vinyl eraser here in a minute or in a second after I get this piece down. And I'm just going to erase the pencil because I can and it works well and easy peasy then. So that took me a little bit to line up. I didn't want to use my T-square because I wanted to get the inside lines lined up more so. There is the tiniest bit of white showing on that cardstock piece that I used as the base to adhere. I'll cut that off at the end. And then I'm going to use this one picture instead of 2 pictures. And I cut it down to a 4 1/2 by 4 1/4, 4 by 4. And then each of these pieces are going to be a 1/4 of an inch bigger. So this is supposed to be 4 3/4 by 4 1/4, and I cut it wrong. Oops. So I'm going to do that again. Doing it the right way this time. And so that's better. And then this next piece is going to be 4 1/2 by 5. And the black is going to be 5 1/4 by 4 3/4. And so I'm going to layer it up this way. I'm going to change it in a minute because the black on the outside, it looks good. I just choose one of my chalkboard pieces and then I feel like it needs something different. So that works out. And then I'm just going to pull out a bunch of the stuff that I have sitting here for my kit. So I am going to use some of those acetate pieces. I am going to try and get some of this chalkboard sticker pieces on. I do get one, but not all. I'm trying to do the clusters in the same spot that Mallory has them. But it's not going to work exactly like that, and that's okay. So I pulled out this big happy acetate, and that's cute. And it does pull the orange in from the hearts on the top. But I'm not, it's okay. So we'll see what else is in there, because I know there's this happy as well. And scale-wise, I like that better. And it's going the right direction. And then there's this laughter piece that has some gold on it. It's super cute. And then I'm just looking to see what else there is. Some of those are getting lost. I like the giggle. The Just Us that's underneath that you can't even see because those triangles do make the acetate hard to read. So then I decide that I will change my photo first. I was debating about putting the acetate on the white cardstock, and that's why I grabbed it for a second there. And then I'm like, hey, no, I'm going to like this more. So my photo is going to go on the white, and then it's going to get the tiniest bit of black. And I'm just going to cut that with my scissors because, yeah, I didn't want to use my trimmer. So and then I'm just going to ruffle up that edge just a little bit. I don't ruffle up the other two, but that one works just fine. And then on the pink, and I think that ties the pink to the page in a little bit better to the photo, and I like that. And then it's got that little bit of black that adds a bit to it. I do know I want to use that arrow on here too, so I'm trying to put some other black on here to anchor. And then I decided, yeah, I definitely need the acetate on some white. So this is paper artistry in my glue right now. And so I'm just going to fussy cut around this. I'm using it, it dries really clear. So right now it's not clear, but when it dries, it'll definitely be clear. You'll hardly be able to see it. You won't be able to, like, if I hadn't said anything, you probably won't see it. I did the same thing with Giggle. And I'm debating with the laughter. I know I probably want to, but I don't have a piece in my hand right now, but there we go. That was just behind me in a little folder where I put some of my cardstock scraps because they work really well for this kind of thing. And literally the same thing. I glued it on, fussy cut around, keeping all the acetate, and then I roughed up the edges around all three of those, just if for where I didn't have it perfectly done. Photo is going to get put on. I'm going to use the line of triangles to get it on straight, and the happy is going to overlap the photo for the part of the title like it is in the sketch, and then this arrow is going to go right nestled there, so it's pointing at them and saying happy laughter. And so I'm still debating this giggle, and I'm like, meh, not feeling the giggle. Got a little bit of glue on that acetate, so, and then I decided it needs some foam because I want a little bit of dimension on here. So on it goes. I'm going to cut another little piece for that little bit of the L, just so the L doesn't get bent when it goes in the page protector. And then this gets nestled right underneath and overlapping a little bit, and I like that quite a bit. And then there are some acetate hearts in this acetate set that I haven't used yet. So I pulled out the blue one and this yellow one, and I'm going to pull out this orange one, but I'm thinking I think there's a pink one in here, and I think the scale was more similar to those ones. So there we go. And so my clusters are now going to be in different spots because I've obviously done a cluster in a different spot. So I did think about trying to do the upper two corners like it was in the sketch. There was tags in this upper corner. So I looked at some of these circle pieces that are chalkboard, and I didn't like the scale of them. I didn't like how they were sitting. I have this other black stuff that I pulled out for my kit, and so that tag, I was like, maybe. But it's just, I don't know. And then I find this frame and this flare, and the flare says smile, and I like that on that corner. And then I have some of these leftover pieces that I fussy cut up for a different layout back in, I think it was June. Was it June? Might have been May. I don't know. It was a little while ago. I think it was May, but... And so I'm getting those, I'm trying to see if I can nestle those in and put them in place of those embellishment circles. And it's okay, but I'm not quite feeling the squares with the triangles and the hearts and the circles, but I like this one frame. So the frame's going to go down, the smile is going to go in for the flare. Just with some glue. And then I'm going to pull in one more flare, and I'm going to pull the heart in down here. And I decided, nope, to the other stuff. This was on my table, and I'm like, nope. I'm going, this is okay. I still kind of wanted to get something in that corner with the frame. So I'm looking through my labels and those kind of things, and I'm like, nope. Maybe, nope, I don't like it. Nope. Maybe this one. No, I don't like it. Nope. It's taken away from it. Like, I don't know if it's just I didn't like the balance, or I don't know. It was not working for me. So none of those are gonna go on. I'm gonna put these away. That pink one, maybe it's gonna sit there. It's gonna be a nope too. Nope. No. Here, no, it's not. Don't like it. Okay, changing gears. So I'm gonna try some of my puffy stickers and enamel dots, which are all here, and I don't like those pink ones because they're too purpley. So now I'm looking to see what else I have in here. So I'm pulling out the enamel dots that kind of match one of the colors, and put those away so they don't go on my floor. And so I try these white ones first, but the white is it's actually a gray white. And when I put the white on the white, I don't like it. So I'm going to put those back, and then I'm looking at the color in the G for this blue, which is in other places. So I'm going to use this bluey green. And I'm going to use all of the ones that I have. I put that one down and then it tore up. So definitely needs to have one on that pink circle now. But oh well. And so there'll be 3 up at the top here. So 2 underneath the frame, and then 1 on the smile flare. And then 1 on that circle where I ripped it. And then another one on the circle. And a third one will go on the circle. and then there'll be 2 underneath the heart, the flare heart, and then 1 on that corner of the laughter. And so that works out pretty good. I'm still trying to get one more of these on, and it's not going to work, but I do want a little bit more black on here, and I'm trying to figure out where do I want this. So I pull out these word stickers, and this one that I'm going to pull off says collect memories. I think it was a Studio Calico one, but I didn't like how that was sitting with the laughter. So I pull out these Ali Edwards ones, and this one says this is real life, and I'm going to nestle it up with the hearts, and then that puts that black in one more spot. So it's technically in 4 because it's around my photo too, but that I like better. A little bit more balanced. I'm going to trim off this edge. I'm just going to ruffle it up a bit, and that is a wrap on this page. So I will have close-ups to follow. Look at how pretty that is. So I do like how it turned out. So close-ups are here. If you loved how this came together today, I would absolutely love it if you liked, subscribed, and if you wanted to share some crafty love in the comments, that would be appreciated. I will have the blog and playlists, and links are always posted in the description box below. Make sure you take a look. Until next time, stay inspired, scrappy, and full of ideas. Thanks for being here today. Have yourself a wonderful day.